Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell. This is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Excited to be here with you on this beautiful Wednesday, December 4th of 2024. Internet's been kind of spotty in and out, so I'm doing this at a little bit earlier time than I normally do, a little bit later time than I talked about on Monday. Can you guys all hear me okay? Want to make sure that my sound is on and coming through. I'm not muted. Just want to make sure that my sound is working. So if you are here watching the channel, I would appreciate it if you throw a 1 in the chat or just let me know that you can hear me. And if you guys can hear me, I'm going to jump right in. Got a incredibly busy day planned, a lot of exciting things going on, but I did want to touch on a few things and share some stuff with you. Still not seeing any. There we go. Loud and clear. Okay. Thank you, Deadwood. Appreciate it, buddy. Glad to have you here. Good morning, Deadwood. Appreciate you. I've messaged you a little bit on Discord. I don't know if you saw it, but I had kind of a special bonus, something that I wanted to talk to you about if you like the Baron platform at all. I'm really enjoying the Baron tokenized real estate platform. So jump into your Discord when you get a chance and see if you like that. And anyways, guys, let's go right into it. I'm going to share my screen here. Give me a second. Pop over to CoinGecko to start with. And let me make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. It's always more fun when you guys are seeing. There we go. So CoinGecko today, we're going to go real quickly and just kind of take a peek at the overall, market sentiment. So you can see here, Bitcoin is sitting at about 95,000. If you look at it for the last 7 days, it's basically break even, down a little bit today. But in general, folks, this is really probably pretty good for us. The longer that Bitcoin kind of trades sideways, it's been as high as 99 and as low as 91 over the last handful of weeks. But for the most part, it's hung out like between about 93 and 90, high 97s, low 98. So right in that about a 5% channel roughly that has been kind of hanging out in. And as you can see, folks, that is extremely good for the altcoins. So you notice here, Ethereum is up over 6% for the week. XRP is up 4%. You go to BNB up 18%. Solana's down a little bit, but Solana's had a pretty massive run up in this bull market compared to most tokens. Solana was beaten all the way down to $7, $8, $9 during the bear market. So it's up 9 times 30 is 270. So it's not up quite 30. 9 times 25 is 2.25. So it's up about 25x from its lowest point in the market. So it's not a huge surprise that it's running down, but you can see here Dogecoin, just kind of hanging out. Also has had a massive run up though. This thing went from under 10 cents to 40 cents over the last month. Cardano's having another good week, even though it's up. I think Cardano was down at about 35 cents, 32 cents, maybe even 30 cents, not very long ago at all, just a handful of weeks ago. Maybe it was, I guess it's been about a month now. So as you can see, all I'm just trying to point out here is that even though Bitcoin has been stagnant, look at these altcoins: 71% for Tron, 22% for Avalanche, 9% for Toncoin, 17% for Shiba, 27% for Polkadot, and so on and so forth. So really, although emotionally, I would love to see some $100,000 Bitcoin and above. This is really not that bad of a time for us that are in the altcoin, markets. For most of us that are, gambling on stuff that has a little bit lower market cap, this is actually a pretty good time. And having said that, I want to run over P, one of our most valuable members that's here on just about every single live stream, asked me to look at a couple of different coins. He DM'd me I'm not sure if he was going to be able to be available today or not. But one that I wanted to look at here, it's called Port, and it's Port Fun. So let's see if we can find that here on CoinGecko for Dave P. And folks, for the rest of you that are looking at different tokens, I would love it. You know, if you guys have anything in the chat that you want to mention, anything that you're looking at, I'm not seeing it right here. There is a Port, but that's Port Finance. Let me pull it up and see what the price of it is and see if it matches anywhere in the ballpark of his price. This looks way too high. Market cap. Let me reread his message. It said it peaked at 0.13 and is now at 0.02. So this one doesn't look like it. It's got starts with a BKXQ for its contract address. If we scroll down here, yeah, this is not the same one. It doesn't look like. Let me pop over here to the chat. Is Dave? Oh, hey, there is Dave. All right, Dave. I appreciate the input. Let me see. Dex Screener is not one of my favorites. I do get on it occasionally, but it's usually just through links that people send me that I already know where I'm going. Let's pull it up here really quick. Thing about Dex Screener that it's just harder for me to read all of the information and make sure that I'm actually giving it a fair look over. But let's run over here to Dex Screener and type in, if it'll let me. It looks like it's having a little bit of trouble loading. Let's see if we can type in Port. No. P-O-R-T. Excuse me. Man, I'm kind of sniffly today. Let me see here. Is it the top one there, Dave? Does that look right? Sitting at 0.009 now, probably. That sounds like it's probably about the right one. So that means that or is it this one down here? Well, you got one that says 0.02, then you got one that says 0.09. You said it was Port Fun. I'm not necessarily seeing a Port Fun. Which one should I click on, Dave? This one here at 002161 or the one up at top, 009140? See if Dave is still around and will respond. It's on the Solana network. That looks interesting. Okay, 009. Let's go give it a quick look here. So it's down even a little bit since you mentioned it to me. All right. So this is just the last. Let's see if we can do. What do we got here? Let's pull out the 3-month chart here on this, if we can pull it up. All right. So yeah, that's a relatively pathetic looking chart, Dave. That would worry me a little bit for sure. Watching this thing, you said, like you mentioned, it was all the way up here. Although I'm not seeing 13 cents. That must have been even longer ago. So if we go back on the 6-month chart, I'm still trying to see. I only still see even 6 months back where it's at 0.2025. So, or maybe you said it was at 0.13. Excuse me. Maybe it wasn't 13 cents. Maybe it was at 1. Yeah, never mind. It was at 1.3 cents. Okay. So 1.3 down to the 0.009. Okay. That's not so bad. It's just obviously, now here we are. What are we back? This is, well, this is still showing December. I don't want the 1-day chart. I want, why? What do we see here on the 5-day? So on the 5 days, this actually, December. Okay, here we go. December 2nd. So if we go all the way back here, where are we at? So this is back on December 1st. All right, let's try this one more time here. Do the 1 month chart. Sorry, guys. I told you when it comes to DEX Screener, I don't do a whole lot on here. I know it's a valuable resource. A lot of people use it a lot. But let's see, this thing is still only going back to December 1st. So I wanted to see what it's done since the beginning of November, because most of your good tokens have done a little bit of something, although the further down on the market cap we go, the less a lot of the tokens have done. So it doesn't necessarily scare me if it hasn't done much, because a couple of my favorite tokens for this bull run have not gone up over the last month. It's just not time for the super low caps to do that. You can see it shows here fully diluted value at 928K. So it's definitely something that we, like to, it's in that, realm of $1 million market caps or so that we really like here. Let's click over on its website and see if we can pull up the website and see if that'll give us any clue. While that's loading, I'm also going to run over here and pull up its Twitter so we can see its Twitter next. And man, I swear, where I'm at here, it's not a third world country quite, but it's pretty underdeveloped, and I apologize. My internet has been in and out all week. We've been in and out of power just a little bit too. I think I got it pulled up here. No, that's the actual DEX screener. What happened? Oh, here's we go. This is the website. Let me see. Let's go. Let's share this tab. All right. If I did everything correctly, we're all okay. We're looking at the looking at it now. So let me go here. I like the idea of being in multiple memes. Their socials are lacking. So what do we got here? So what does Port.fun actually do, Dave? So it says make a portfolio. So it looks like you can buy several different meme coins from this website. I don't know how they all interact together, if they're all part of the Port.fun platform, like if they're all like owned by Port.fun, or if they're just being advertised and it just kind of aggregates a lot of different meme coins. But definitely looks interesting. You have a whole lot of choices here. For me personally, I'm trying to avoid, the really speculative meme coins. I'm trying to get involved with some of the ones that are a little bit more mainstream, like Brett, and some of the ones that some of the bigger influencers are on board with. It's really hard for me to evaluate this, Dave, and really be able to give you any type of a, idea. I can tell you this, anytime you're, on looking at meme coins, the risk versus reward is very, very much always there. So, I've had meme coins that I got into with $25,000, $30,000 market caps that, had I gotten into them and they had exploded up to even several $100,000 in market cap, I would have made a ton of money, and they went to zero. And realistically, the lower the market cap, the better the chance is that the token's going to go to zero. It's also obviously the better the chance is that you're going to hit something for a big amount of money. And so it's really up to each individual and their own risk tolerance and their own goal. Like when I do private sales, I understand with my private sales that some of them are going to launch and do horribly, and I'm not going to make any money on some private sales. I also realize that I'm going to do extremely well on some private sales. The thing that I like about private sale tokens is a lot of times the ones that launch poorly still have kind of a chance to come back. A lot of times with these meme projects, the reason that they go to zero is because they got rugged, or there's just no marketing dollars, and once they're kind of dead and forgotten, they usually never ever come back. Where a lot of my private sale tokens that have launched and started off poorly have still come back and made me money. So I'm kind of a little bit more partial to putting my money into private sales. I just put my money into 2 more private sales on the Gains platform in this last week. Actually, it's three different Gains platform private sales. 2 of them were on their private side, and 1 was on the Launchpad side. And 2 of the 3 were refundable. And 1 of them just launched, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it launched above its price that I bought it for. But I still got a refund because I got I think it was 15% of the tokens, and it only went up about 50%. And then it had a 6-month cliff. So even if it's going to do fantastic in the future, I might regret getting my refund if it does fantastic in the future. But, I'm looking at, like, right now, I can only recoup roughly 15-20% or so of my initial investment, and I got to wait 6 months and hope that this thing is doing fantastic in 6 months. And then even after the 6 months, it was only, I forget, like 10% a month for another 9 months or whatever it would be. So I got a refund. So I'm kind of partial when I'm gambling. I kind of like to gamble on these private sales where I'm getting the ability refund them versus jumping into these meme coins. But that's just me. So Dave, I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't invest in this by any means, but just from the little bit that I've been able to see, I'll jump over to their Twitter page real quick too. But from the little bit that I'm able to see, I would be very hesitant. And if I was going to jump into this token, I would probably do it with a relatively small amount of money. Like if you wanted to throw 100 or 2 or 5, depending on, your bankroll, you wanted to throw, a small amount of money at this and hope that it did well, I wouldn't blame you. And I would also, a lot of times with these tokens, if I'm going to invest in them, I'm usually going to pull out my initial capital, fairly quick. So if this thing had a couple of good days and it ran up and it doubled in price, I'm probably selling $100 worth or $500 worth, depending on how much I invested, pulling out my original and then riding the rest of the bag risk-free. Those types of plays I like. So that's the other thing. Whenever I get involved in a meme coin, I almost always take my initial investment off the table as fast as possible, even though it could cost me some money in the long run. If the thing just continues to do some massive numbers. So having said that, I'll follow it here real quick. It's got, 6,400 followers. That's not necessarily a huge following, but it's not nothing. It looks like they got a little bit of a Twitter going. Their last Twitter here looks like it was on December 2nd. They did a bunch on December 2nd, though. They did several on December 2nd. Do you know when this token launched, Dave? Part of the reason that I might not have been able to go back very far is it could just be a very new token too. So December 1st. So, I see here. It looks like they're, sorry for the delays. We're working as hard as we can to scale up. You guys are insane. So it looks like they were having some trouble back on December 1st. So this might have launched fairly quickly. Anyways, Dave, man, I hope that, that gives you a little bit of insight. I'm not saying no. I'm just not necessarily giving it a full-blown, green light and telling everybody on the channel to, go crazy on this thing, but it's definitely worth, taking a little bit of a look at and maybe throwing a few bucks at if you really like it. I'm going to run over to the chat here in a second, but real quick, the other one. Okay, so the other one looks like it's kind of the same thing, Dave. Basket.fun, BASKTFUN, probably also going to just be on Deck Screener. I'm going to guess here, Dave. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick peek at this, but I'm going to guess that it's very similar to what we just looked at, and it's probably going to be kind of the same Same answer from me as on the first one is my guess. Let me see. Let's go back here. So yeah, here we are. Basket.fun. Click on that. Let it load up. Okay, so a little bit bigger, fully diluted market cap, 3.4 million. You can see, Dave, over here, though, it's down 35% for the last 24 hours, 24% in the last 6 hours, down 14% in the last hour. I guess, that's part of the reason when it comes to these types of tokens that I'm a little hesitant is it seems like there's so much volatility and it's so quickly. Like we're talking about, like if you would have bought this token before you went to bed last night, you would have woke up today and 25-30% of your money would have been gone. So if you'd have thrown 500 at it, you'd already be down to like $350. A lot of times you're kind of stuck at that point. You're kind of stuck. You're kind of stuck at that point trying to make a decision like, hey, do I just hold on for dear life here and hope that it goes back up? Or do I cut my losses and take my $350 and put it into something else? And what normally happens, especially with these types of tokens, is not that hard, Dave, to pick 5 or 10 losers in a row and your whole 500 is just gone. So that's the other thing. You are going to hit some winners, don't get me wrong. And there's going to be times where you throw that 500 in and overnight it's worth $5,000. And so you just have to be prepared to lose, over and over and over and over. And then hopefully when you really hit that huge winner, you make enough money to make up for your losses. And that's a little bit similar, same kind of game in a way as the private sales. But once again, for me, it's not necessarily my favorite strategy here in this market. I know that there's a lot of money to be made in meme coins. And once again, I'm all about, hey, I don't care. I don't mind making some money in the right meme coins. I'm just trying to follow bigger narratives. I always looked at meme coins that had hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap. And I'm like, man, meme coin that's already at several hundred million in market cap, how much room does it have to run? How high can it go? And I didn't invest in them. And so then what I found out though, if we go over here real quick to back to CoinGecko, guys, if we go back to CoinGecko here for a second, and let's just take a quick peek at some of the ones that, so Brett on Base is a meme coin that's, gotten a lot of attention from a lot of different people. Let me see here. This is the original one here. We got a Brett on ETH, but if we go to this original Brett, maybe my computer will work. You can see here, look at this thing. It's got a almost $2 billion market cap. So I probably saw this and had opportunities to buy into this thing at about 100 million. And I thought to myself, man, at 100 million, how much room does it have to grow? Well, not only has it 20x'd, but it's also, still got a lot of room, and it's still got a lot of top influencers that are talking about it. So I'm not saying that I would go buy Brett now, but I'm saying that the fact that it was at $100 million market cap probably shouldn't have scared me as much as it should have. And in listening to some other people, I'm learning that, hey, a lot of times, the thing about a meme coin that's up at 50 million or 100 million or so, probably not going to be a rug pull. The rug pulls usually happen at that, $500,000, $1-2 million mark. And if they can't break through that and get up to 10 million and 20 million and start moving, then most of the time, that's when they're going to do the rug pull. When they see the momentum stop, they're sitting at 500,000, 1 million, 2 million. And now they realize, hey, their meme coin is losing steam. It's going to probably come backwards on the chart. And that's when the unscrupulous owners, if they have the ability to kind of pull the plug. And then on the other side, you've got the ones that just pull the plug just in the first 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 in market cap, because they can, they could take that 50, 60 grand and just do it all over again the next day. And so, thank you very much. Very, very, very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. And appreciate you all very much. Good morning to everybody. Yeah, man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I'm glad that you've made some money on Centernet. Centernet is an absolutely fantastic token. I keep talking to them about, I'd love to be an ambassador for the Centernet project, for the Centernet token. It's such an incredible project. Got an incredible team, and really all of the I's and T's are crossed on that token for me. So I love Centernet. And will always, be a supporter of it. Unfortunately, we just haven't been able to come together with the team and make sense of anything that would work out for me to be a ambassador of the token. They are very, very worried about regulation, even though I don't think with the current administration that we need to worry anywhere near as much about regulation as we used to. I don't think that they would be doing anything wrong by jumping in on my ambassador program. But for right now, they want to avoid anything that they think might potentially get them in trouble. But yes, Centernet is a token that I like, and definitely hold a little bit, and would definitely, recommend it to my community, as I did through the interview that I did. Good morning, Eric. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are doing fantastic. Deadwood, I already said hi, Deadwood. Dave's already been talked a little bit about. Daniel, good morning, Daniel. Thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you are all doing fantastic. I'm trying to see if there was any more tokens that let me see here. So Dave said, very risky. I only got a small bag. And then he also said, what did he say here? Check out the about button for info. I'm assuming that you were talking about port. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that real quick. Let's run over here and make sure that we're okay. So this is the about button. We're going to take just a quick little second here on port. So in a sentence, trade multiple meme coins simultaneously and earn fees on trades. For the first time ever, you can now buy and sell multiple meme coins in a single transaction. You can also create ports that others can purchase and earn fees on their trades. Interesting. I see. Okay. So when we were looking at those blocks of memes, it was a port that somebody had created. And if people like your port and they come in and buy your port, then you actually get a fraction of the fees that were spent buying that. Okay, that makes sense. I like that. I like that aspect. I could see myself potentially, creating some ports and giving myself a little bit of, time to, give, make some money on my own ports and stuff. So yeah, man, once again, Dave, thank you very much for bringing this to our attention. We'll definitely keep it on our radar and see, what's going on. So does anybody else have any tokens? So, last week I went over a lot of the tokens of, the sponsors of the channels, and talked about, the Baron token, the Baron tokenized real estate platform. I talked about the Gains Pad. I even gave you guys an opportunity to get in on a Gains Pad sale where it was fully refundable. And, after that video was over, I was kind of surprised. Not one person messaged me and said, yeah, man, I'd like to throw $50 or $100 or $500 at that sale. So like, I'm kind of done talking about those in a way. Like, it feels like the people that were interested in the Gains Pad, the people that were interested in the Baron real estate are already rolling along, singing their song, doing their thing. I noticed that it's like that with just about everything, though. But every time I promote something new, the people that are interested in it jump in it and get in it real quick. And then no matter how much I talk about how incredible I think it's going to be over the next month, like I'll get a very small little teeny tiny trickle of people, that jump into it. So I'm not going to talk about gains or Baron anymore, at least not for a little bit, at least not on these live streams. I am going to be doing some videos that are dedicated to those for the people that are in the Baron token. And there are a handful of you that I have messaged that were part of the inner circle that I wanted to do something kind of special for, because I know that the inner circle has been a little rough the last couple of months. You guys haven't gotten as much value out of the inner circle as you probably should have. We're coming up here in about a month where we're going to be looking at the portfolio and deciding whether or not we want to sell the rewards portfolio and split it up amongst all of the members. But I also wanted to do something kind of special for you, and that Baron platform is the best place for me to be able to do it at. So, I think I messaged you, Dave. I messaged Deadwood. I messaged Eric, and Lisa, and a handful of others that are in the inner circle. And if you guys have any interest at all in the Baron platform, I'll explain it to you, and I'll also give you the details on kind of the special, gift that I want to give you guys, and see if it's something that you want to do. In the meantime, though, is there any other, what do we got here? TF, how in the world do you pronounce that? Your username is messing me up here. I'd love to say your name, but I have no idea how to pronounce that. So, let me see here. What do you think about Partisia blockchain? MCP looks very good and still at bottom. That's an interesting question, sir. I actually have a lot of Partisia. I actually participated in a Partisia private sale, and it launched so poorly, and it launched in the bear market, that I kind of forgot about it. I've just got the tokens sitting in a wallet somewhere and haven't really thought about Partisia for a long time. That's also because I have way too many tokens. I probably have 200 tokens. So very easy for me to forget about tokens that haven't performed, or that I only have, a handful of dollars in. I'm not sure exactly how much Partisia I actually have. At today's prices, it's probably not fantastic. I think I probably invested $1,000 into it, or $500 into it through the Gains platform, but happy to take a quick look at it. And Pablo, it's not your fault, man. I'm jumping all over the place. I was actually going to do this live stream closing in on 2 hours ago originally, but the internet was spotty. It wasn't working. The weather where we're at, unfortunately, isn't quite as nice as it usually is. So we weren't going to do the excursion and exactly what we had planned today. We're going to try to save that for tomorrow. So I went ahead and just kind of kept an eye on things. And then at about 11:30 where I am, instead of 10 a.m., we ended up getting a break in the weather, and the internet looked like it was coming through pretty clear. So I decided to just kind of jump right into the live stream. So it's not your fault that you're late. It definitely didn't happen when I thought it was gonna. And then Eric says, current thoughts on Root. That's another one that I have huge belief in. I bought it way back in March. I've held it all the way through. It's down, I don't know, probably 75% since my entry. And I'm happy to take a quick look at it too. But Root is another one that I definitely am still holding, and probably should take a look at maybe dollar cost averaging into a little bit more. So let's go take a quick look at Partisia, and then we will take a look at Root. So let me get back over here to CoinGecko and switch over here to this tab, and then let's go over here to Partisia. So Partisia MPC has its own blockchain. I don't think you guys would be able to see it, but I've actually got like a Partisia wallet, kind of like a MetaMask wallet that's up in the top corner. You can probably see all of these on my screen here that are pinned. Is this the Partisia? Yeah, so this is the Partisia wallet. You won't be able to see that just came up onto my screen, I don't believe, because I'm not sharing my whole screen. I'm just sharing tabs. But when I click on that, it basically pulls up just like a MetaMask where I can log into it, look at all of my tokens, and so on and so forth. You guys can see here, it is sitting at a $23 million market cap, 53 million fully diluted. This might even be a token. I forget the exact vesting schedule on it. I might have some tokens still, potentially coming to me. I'm not 100% sure. You can see here though, when it launched way back in, March of this month, or of March of this month, March of this year, it popped all the way up to about 68 cents when it first launched. And now it's, down about 86%. And you can see here, it's only up 11% from its all-time low. So, definitely a good point that you made when you brought this up to the group is that looks like it's probably bottomed out. And, I don't really know enough about this project to really give a great analysis. I'm in so many private sales, and most of the time I'm buying them, I'm selling them, and then I'm holding a bag for the long term, but I'm getting into so many that it's hard for me to, once again, like really keep up with what am I buying. Full transparency, guys, in a bull market, I'm snuffly, but let me get out here real quick. So full transparency, most of these private sales, especially during the bull market, there's usually a pretty long page describing everything that the project is all about, who the founders are, who everything is, everything about the project. And then there's one little paragraph towards the bottom of the page that talks about the vesting of the token, because this is what I found. During a bull market, if I can get enough tokens when it launches and the vesting isn't bad, then I don't care about the other 90%. I'm just throwing a few $100s at it. So, for instance, this one that we just did, that was refundable, this MetaPhight, it was 15% at launch. It had a 6-month cliff, and then I think the vesting was like 12 more months. So altogether, it was going to be 18 or 19 months. And I was getting 15% at launch with a 6-month cliff. I would not buy that token except for that it was refundable. So I don't care if, this is a little bit of a stretch, obviously, but I don't care if Ethereum was relaunching and I had an opportunity to buy into it in the private sale. If I was looking at it and saw that I was only getting 15% at launch and that I had a 6-month cliff and then 12-month vesting, which depending on, if this cycle goes along with other cycles, that's going to mean that most of that 12 months of vesting is going to be right smack dab in the middle of the next bear market. Now, with the administration that we have in place, maybe we have an extended bull market, but I'm just, fully transparent. When it comes to these private sales, the vesting is all that matters to me. So now if that MetaPhight would have been 15% at launch and then say 10% a month for the next 10 months, which is actually, more, that's more than 100%, but you get me. Like if it would have been 15% and then 10% a month with no cliff, I would have bought into it, whether it was refundable or not. And so most of the time, what you really want to be looking at with these private sales is the vesting. Some of these, the more that you get on the launch day, the better it is. So, 15%, you only need a little over a 6x to get 100% of your money back. So 15% is a solid amount. I've had tokens that I've only, we had a token just, a couple months ago, Otherverse, that we only got 8% at launch, and it 22x'd. And so we've got 160% of our initial money back on launch. So the initial amount that you get the day of launch isn't super important if you believe the token's going to do extremely well. Even 5% at launch, and it only needs to 20x. And I say only, but folks, a lot of these private sales, they start off at $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 market cap. So a 20x on a $700K market cap is still only $1.4 million market cap. So it's not that hard for them, if they're popular and they've got a lot of excitement, to 20x at launch. I hate cliffs. every time I've got a token that's had a long cliff, like a 3, 4, 5, 6 month cliff, it almost always has gotten forgotten about and is way, way, way down from its original launch price. And by the time I start getting the tokens 6 months later, they're worth, almost nothing. So let me go back here to the other view. I don't know what that had to do with Partisia, but I'm just telling you in general, the reason that I might not sound like I know that much about these projects, private sales wise, especially ones that I'm invested in, is because once again, like I literally do scroll down that whole first page. And if the vesting is good, I will spend a little bit more time looking at the rest of the project. If the vesting is crap, a lot of times I don't really even pay attention to the project. And, maybe I'm costing myself some money. Like there's guys that got into the Polkadot private sale, many years ago now. And I think it took Polkadot 2 or 3 years to launch. And it had pretty crummy vesting. But obviously those people that got into Polkadot at probably pennies, maybe even a fraction of a penny, I don't remember the exact price, are very happy today. So if you had a project like Polkadot launching today, I would probably pass it up, because I'm not really looking at what this project is going to be like in 5 years when I'm looking at these private sale projects. Obviously, once it's launched and things are going well, then I decide whether or not I'm going to sell all of my tokens or when I'm going to sell my tokens. And there's certainly projects that I will hold for the long term if I believe that they've got, potential to really be, hundreds of millions and billions of dollars in valuation. And I'm in it at, a $700,000 market cap. I'm certainly going to hold a bag longer term for projects like that. So having said that, I like the fact that Partisia can be bought on MEXC, Gate, KuCoin, Bitrue, and I believe there's probably, there might be a decentralized place or two that you can take a look at this at. But you can go to its website here, Partisia blockchain, see if that'll pull up for us. Maybe as I get a chance to explore. Yep. So there we go. This is the website for Partisia. Explore, develop, connect, read, empowering people and protecting privacy. So I know that a lot of these privacy tokens are going to do very well. Partisia blockchain allows user to compute all kinds of data while maintaining complete data privacy at rest, in transit, and in use. And so I do see a huge need for these privacy blockchains and privacy tokens moving forward. Our data is getting exploited. I think all of us would agree that Google, it does not have our best interest at heart. They're just using everything that they can gather, and selling it to companies and so on and so forth. I mean, I think it's the craziest thing sometimes in this world, how this works. My wife and I were talking about hot tubs the other day. And then all of a sudden, I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of ads for hot tubs. So we know that we're being spied on. We know that we're being listened to. We know that these companies have all sorts of, ways to take advantage of our data. So I do like the fact that it's a privacy blockchain. I like the fact that it's down at around $20 million in market cap. Hey, good morning, John. Welcome to the show, buddy. Hope you are having a fantastic day. So, I mean, I would say that if you don't own any Partisia and you go take a look at this website, you look at what they're doing, you do your own due diligence, and you really like the project and you believe that it has, a significant future in the long term, then I would take a look at this chart and say, hey, at 9 cents, less than 10 cents, down from its all-time high of 69 cents. And, it might be one that you want to take a closer look at. And I certainly wouldn't, fault you if you bought a little bit of it. So let me see here. Root, I've been DCAing into Root for a while. Awesome. So it's I agree that XRP tie-in has you excited. I agree with that. And so, I mean, I don't really have to look at Root to tell you that it's an absolutely fantastic project. The gentleman that brought this token to me, his name is Mark Fu, and he owns Altcoin Ignition. And this gentleman is one of the smartest people that I've ever met in crypto. I've made a lot of money through his picks. I'm part of his paid Discord group. And so I'll go take a peek at it and bring it up for you guys. But I already know the answer to the question that is that absolutely I would certainly DCA into Root. And if I didn't have any of a bag, I would agree that right now is probably a great time to look at this. So I started talking about this token way back during the bull run in the beginning of the year. And so if you go back here and you look at the 1-year chart, folks, I was talking about this token way back here in March. You can see it was all the way up at 12.5 cents. And you can see, folks, too, that it dipped all the way down to, about 1.6 cents here. So like I literally was down probably 75 to 95% in my position temporarily, but now it's on its way back up. And you can see here, showing here, like it topped out here, recently at about 5 cents. Right now it's at about 4.4 cents. If you click here, you can buy this token on all of the major exchanges, KuCoin, CoinX, Gate.io, MEXC. You can also get it on Uniswap. And so it is definitely a token that I still hold. And thank you for bringing it back to the forefront of our mind, Eric. I do think it is a great token with a lot of potential. Sitting at a $63 million market cap, 530 fully diluted. So only about 10% of its tokens, roughly a little bit more than 10%, are in circulation. But I do believe that the vesting schedule on that remaining 90% is slow and drawn out, and some of it is for rewards and different for stakers and different people that are part of the ecosystem. So I'm not worried that there's still a lot of supply to end up coming out into the market. And then if we go over to the rootnetwork.com, go over and look at its website. Make sure that I change the view, see if that baby pulls up on us. It's coming. Come on, baby. Load, baby, load. I'm going to get rid of the Discord that I got on another tab because that could be slowing things down. Plus, it's making that crummy. I hate that beeping noise that Discord makes when notifications are coming through. For some reason, it doesn't want to X out. Are we here yet? No, it's still black. Come on, man. Let's load. There we go. So rooted in open gaming, the Root Network is a powerful foundation, seamlessly connected games, content, and experiences start building. And so as you can see here, it's got this tie to Ripple. You got a lot of great partners, unlock the magic of the open metaverse, and so on and so forth. And so this is built around gaming, which gaming is not going anywhere. Gaming is like a $300 billion, a year market, and just, absolutely massive. So I do like this project. It's called therootnetwork.com. If you want to go take a closer look at its website, and you can see here the staking, the ecosystem, the docs, the white paper, everything that you want to possibly know about Root. But you can see here these are some of the games: Reebok, Impact, the Third Kingdom, Open, Gen, the Readyverse. So it's already got some games and things that you can be doing. You can also, do the learn more here and go through and really look at everything, get involved. Here it is, support for every step. So especially if you're a builder, somebody that's really looking to build games and do gaming type stuff, This is definitely a very interesting project. You've got Futureverse developer training here. So yeah, just go ahead and take a peek at the website yourself, guys. But this is definitely a project that I like. And then Dave says Root is on Uphold, which is fantastic. You know, Uphold is a great platform. And they're a little bit like Coinbase in the fact that they're pretty picky, you know, about who they put on their platform. They're not just, you know, they're not like MEXC that just lists every single token in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. I love that MEXC lists every single token in the world, but it's also kind of nice when you have exchanges like Uphold that are a little bit more picky and are looking for, you know, companies that really have, you know, good utility and a long-term sustainable product and platform. That, you know, that's definitely a great positive in my mind. So let me run back here to, I'm trying to go over here to the chat. I don't see any new tokens in the chat, so I think I'm gonna, you know, kind of wrap this up. So that means we're going to be out of here in the next half an hour. So for those of you, I'm not going to pull up every token, but for those of you that are, you know, if you got anything to write with, this might be a good time to write with. I'm going to kind of go through some things super fast. The first token that I want you guys to have on your radar and take a look at is called LINQ AI. We all know that AI is one of the biggest narratives in crypto right now. A lot of AI tokens are gonna start taking off, and they're gonna do absolutely massive things. I interviewed George Fox, one of the co-founders of LINQ AI, on my channel not too long ago. You can go watch that interview, but go take a look at LINQ AI. In my opinion, it's a very low market cap token, and it's an incredible platform. Very hardworking team. I like everything about it. They did, you know, about 2 months. It took a while after we did the interview for them to jump on as ambassadors, you know, sponsors of the channel. But recently they did decide to, you know, have us be ambassadors for the token. And so I definitely hold a nice chunk of this token, and I believe it's going to do great things. And part of the reason that I'm also bringing it to you is I've also taken this to a couple of my private groups. There's a couple of groups that are always looking for up and coming tokens to, you know, to take to their community. And so this is one of the tokens. Like, I've taken this guy 10 different tokens, and he's turned most of them down for silly little reasons in most cases, in my opinion. But long story short, LINQ AI was one that he finally got excited about. And so that just kind of shows me, though, that it's definitely, you know, a little bit heads above the rest of some of the tokens that are out there. And it's not mainstream yet. I don't think that you're going to see a whole lot of other influencers talking about it yet, but I believe it's just a matter of time before a guy like Joe Paris or, you know, Crypto Life or Sam Price and some of those guys find LINQ AI and they start talking about it. And when they do, this thing has the potential to really make some massive shifts. The other token that I want to mention real quick, there's a token out there, a gaming token called Token In. The ticker is TIN. And I don't think very many of you have jumped into it yet, but this thing is only sitting at about a $250,000 market cap. And I'm hoping that the reason you guys haven't bought it is just because it's harder to buy. You got to get on MEXC Global, or you can buy it on PancakeSwap through the Aptos network. And I know a lot of you that are watching today are on, you know, you're Americans. You might be having some trouble with MEXC. So I know that this token does need to branch out and get some other, you know, other exchanges. But folks, I'm telling you, this token is sitting at about 2 cents. And back in March of this year, it was sitting at about 44 cents. I did a video on it a couple of months ago talking about how Axie Infinity did 1,136% during the last bull market, and that $100 in Axie Infinity would have turned into $136,000. And I liken this token in to having that type of potential. I would recommend highly doing huge research on token in and getting a hold of some. Not financial advice. I can't disclose everything, but I can tell you this, that just over the next couple of days, there's some big announcements and a few things coming into play. I've also got a video that I produced. It's all edited. It's sitting in my YouTube channel, ready to publish, and that me and the owner, Vladimir Malashov of TIN, have agreed that I'm gonna publish that video on the 5th. And I think it's going to be one of my most watched videos. It's going to have some massive numbers, in my opinion, just because of where we're at in this marketplace. So, once again, for those of you that know me well, if you want to work out some kind of a deal where you send me some USDT, USDC, and I can help you get a hold of the token and then send it to you, I'm willing to work with a handful of you that I know one-on-one. Full disclaimer, once again, every time I say anything like that, I want to make it clear, never send me money through, a conversation that we had on Discord or Telegram or Twitter or anywhere without requesting a video chat. I will always be willing to get on a video chat and prove that I am who I am. But if the only reason that you haven't bought this token in is just because it's a little bit harder to get a hold of, I will help you get it, and you can hold it in your Martian wallet, which is an Aptos wallet, just like I was, this one right here, Martian Aptos wallet. This little black one, you can go onto your Chrome browser, you can download it in minutes, and then you send a little Aptos to it, which you can get Aptos everywhere, including Coinbase, I believe. So send yourself an Aptos, and Aptos is actually a pretty good token to hold. So maybe buy yourself 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 Aptos, depending on how much money you want to put into it. But get yourself an Aptos or two so you've got some, gas fee money, and then get yourself some token in and get them in here. This token is sitting at 2 cents. I've basically put my reputation on the line with the owner of Token In and told him, this thing is going to get back to 25 cents in the not too distant future. And I believe that we're going to rip it past its previous all-time high of 44 cents. So do with that what you will. Could I be wrong? I can be wrong, but I've literally put my reputation on the line here now with you guys, but I've already done it with the owner of this token and basically told him, hey, if this thing doesn't get back to a quarter or more, like I'll eat my sock off my left foot. Like, this thing is going to rip. Will it rip as much as some of the other tokens that we're in? Maybe, maybe not. So there's always risk. Maybe you put your money into this token and it does rip, but it doesn't rip as much as something else. But once again, those of you guys that have been following the channel for a long time know that I really love, Beam Swap. I love Glint on the Moonbeam network, and I'm still invested heavily in Glint. And I've always said that if there was a token in my portfolio that I thought could 1000x, that it was Glint. Well, now it's got competition. I think that this Token In is right. I want them both, but Token In and Glint are still, they're the two tokens that if somebody put a gun to my head and said, hey, you got to get 1000x out of this market or you're done, those are the two tokens that I would ride. Token In, when it runs up and it hits that 20, like right now it's at $250,000 market cap. When it runs up and does, a 10x, 20x, 50x, and it starts getting up into that 10, 15, $20 million market cap, it's going to gain a lot more attention. And that's when, it's only got to go to $100 million market cap to be an absolute huge, huge, huge success. I can't even do the math on that in my head, but it would be a significant run up. And folks, this token's been around for a long time. The owner's working hard. So the fact that it's at $250,000, I'm not worried about it going to zero, man. Like, if you go check out their socials, you go get in their Telegram group, you go get in their Twitter, you'll see this token's going nowhere. It's one of the top gaming tokens in the Aptos ecosystem. It's got multiple rewards. And I'll shut up about Token In. But man, I'm telling you guys, those of you that are watching this channel, you're going to come back to this video and some of the others that I've done where I've been talking about Token In. And if you didn't get a hold of any, in my opinion, you're going to wish that you did. So with that, folks, we've also got NEURAHUB is doing amazing things. It's up in the market. NEURAHUB AI, ticker NEURA, NEURA. DIMITRA has been doing some big moves. I was talking to John Trask, the founder of DIMITRA, the other day, just having a conversation with him. And man, I wish you guys could have heard that conversation and understood what I understand about the DIMITRA token. And in fact, there's a guy, a friend of mine, that invested $30,000 to be in a real estate group. Has nothing to do with crypto, but he's got the kind of money where he just invested $30,000 to be in a real estate group. He owns 36 houses out in Kingman, Arizona, an area that I just kind of migrated to a couple of months ago that I'm planning on being at for about 6 months. And I'm learning a ton from him about real estate. And I'm teaching him about crypto, but he's getting more and more involved in crypto. And he brought me a list, and I forget exactly where it was from, but it was from like Stansberry, if that sounds familiar. Stansberry is a big financial publication, but he brought me a list, and he's been buying DIMITRA. And I thought he heard about DIMITRA from my channel because I've done so many videos on it. I'm talking to him the other day, and I was saying, hey, did you hear about DIMITRA from me, or did you hear about DIMITRA from this Stansberry? And he said, yeah, I heard about it from Stansberry. I didn't even know you were big on DIMITRA. I told him, man, that's one of my best picks, one of my biggest tokens. I've been talking about DIMITRA since 2022, folks. So that's another one. If you don't have DIMITRA, you can buy it. I believe you can buy it right on, you can buy it on MEXC, but you can also get it right on Uniswap. So there's no reason to not grab some DIMITRA. Once again, not financial advice, but this thing is sitting at like 10, 12 cents. Its previous all-time high was $6. And when you understand the real world utility of DIMITRA and the money that is flowing into that company, in my mind, DIMITRA, I think, is around a $50 or $60 million market cap. I would be willing to bet thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with anybody here that DIMITRA will be a multi-billion-dollar market cap company over the next handful of years, and it's going to do some special things during this bull market too. So with that, folks, I can't talk about every single token that is on my mind. That gives you 5 or 6 that we looked at, 3 or 4 from members and a couple from me. And once again, I'm an open book, guys. I'm very easy to get a hold of. Go to the Discord, go to the Telegram, go to my Twitter, reach out to me. Heck, if you're really serious and you want to get on a phone call, DM me. I'll give you my phone number. We can talk. So if you've got questions about TIN or DIMITRA or NEURAHUB or, Root or any of these tokens that we've talked about, and you need, 5 or 10 or 15 minutes of my time, just get in touch with me. I'll make it happen, man. I want to help you guys as much as I can. Our time is not limited. At the same time, you want to be in a hurry. I think we still got a lot of years for phenomenal crypto growth, but what we're going to see over the next 12 months is going to be absolutely incredible, and I want to help you guys take advantage of it. So with that, I love you all. I'm going to go do a little snorkeling and have some food at a place called Big D's, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic Wednesday. Be on the lookout for that 10 video that's coming out tomorrow. We've also got about 10 interviews with founders and CEOs of different projects that I'm super, super excited about. So I hope you guys have been going through and watching some of those token teaser interviews. I know that they can be a little bit tedious to watch. One of the things that I don't love about those interviews is I look at the amount of watch time, and I know you guys are not watching as much of them as I would like, but I understand. At the same time, just go watch enough to get a little bit of an information. Go check out their socials. Go check them out on CoinGecko. These are all tokens that you can find on CoinGecko. We put links to their websites, their Twitter, their Telegram groups. Go check them out because these projects have been vetted. They've been brought to me. We've looked at them. We've made sure that there actually is a reason to share them with you. We're doing these interviews for free to get some of these in front of you and to build relationships. And so they're not paid videos. These are totally done for free. In fact, they cost me money. I got to pay my editor. I'm paying a researcher that's out there, reaching out to the teams and researching stuff and then bringing it to me. So it actually costs me money to bring these interviews to you. So don't dismiss them. I know that my big deep dive videos, like the 10 video that comes out tomorrow, probably going to get 3 or 4 or 5 times as many views as the token teaser interviews have. And I'm just telling you, those token teaser interviews are gold. I don't blame you if you don't watch the whole 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes of them. But definitely watch enough of them to get a little bit of a feel for it, and then go check it out on your own through all of the links that we put in the description. So with that, thank you again, Dave, for being here. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Deadwood. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody that's here today. God bless. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you again next Monday. Take care.